This is Writing Weekend. Writing is a practice met daily, either on the page or off. These two exercises will help you find balance in that practice. I'm going to write with you. 2 minutes on the timer. Let's go. Welcome to Writing Weekend. Whether you're looking to generate material for a new project or find a way to have a new perspective on a work in progress that's current, these writing exercises will help kickstart your writing weekend. So this week we are going to look at character, and I'm going to give you 2 writing exercises and we're going to spend 2 minutes writing. We're going to do it together. I'll set the timer so you don't need to worry about that. So why have I chosen character? Well, I was interviewing Monica Ali last week and she said something about character that was new to me and got me thinking. She talked about how important it is to know your characters, especially if you have a novel that features one protagonist and in my case, is a quest novel, the importance of knowing the character in and out. But essentially you want that kind of relationship with all of your characters. That wasn't necessarily new information to me, but what she did say is to enable you to really get to know your character, live as your character. Go about your day, day in, day out, thinking and looking through your eyes as if you were one of your characters. And that made me think. I was like, okay, that's interesting, intense, but interesting. And also, what if I don't really like my character? What if I don't want to spend my day as my character? And I realized that I was going to let that get in the way of making a development that was really going to help my writing. So what I want to do today is to help you get clear about what your relationship with your character or characters is. So you can choose one character for both exercises. You can try a different character for each exercise. It's completely up to you. I'm going to choose the same one because I would like to get some insights on my main protagonist as I'm doing another edit of my novel. So the first one, we're going to spend 2 minutes on it, is very simply, how do you feel about your character? So how do you feel about them at the start of the novel? How do you feel about what they do in the novel? How do you feel about their thoughts? How do you feel about the way they interact with other people? How do you feel about introducing them to the world? So how do you feel about your character on all these different levels? Maybe there's one of those suggestions that has really sparked an idea and you want to write about just one of those for 2 minutes, or you want to explore on many different levels. Completely up to you. But essentially, how do you feel about your character? Okay, 2 minutes. So what did you discover about the way that you feel for your character? I thought this was kind of interesting. I started with the words I feel, and then the next word that came in was sorry. And I realized that I felt sorry for her. And I was like, why do I feel sorry for her? So I've written, I feel sorry for her being under my thumb. And I realized that I'm being too controlling. I'm not letting her go, which was interesting. I've done a few drafts of this novel now, and the feedback that I've had is that my main character is very well-rounded, but I'm beginning to see that everything about her I've generated because I know the plot, and that I haven't really spent much time or any time thinking about her beyond what I've written about her. So it seems to me that if I'm going to follow Monica's advice and live my character day to day, I might allow her a bit of freedom. I might allow her to experience life beyond the confines of the novel so that I no longer feel sorry for her for being under my thumb. I'm going to set you free, Steph, basically. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we're going to do the second exercise. So the second one is to think beyond your relationship with your character, to think about your character's relationship with your reader, okay? This is also really important, and it was very key for me when I was getting early feedback on my writing where people said, I don't really like your character, and I had to work on that. So what I want you to do now is to write about what your reader currently doesn't know about your character. Now, I'm not talking about really specific plot points like that your character's a murderer, because you need to reveal that right at the end. I'm talking about the things that you haven't yet dared reveal about them because maybe they feel a little close to the bone, or maybe you're worried about what your reader will think. I'm talking about all those things that could be expressed about your character, but you haven't yet gone there for whatever reason. So where haven't you gone? What doesn't your reader currently know about your character? 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. So what did you discover? What does your reader currently not know about your character? So for me, I put My reader doesn't know how ambitious Steph, my main character, they don't know how ambitious she is for her soul. And that's a challenging thing to expose. And so I asked myself, why don't they know this? This is a really important thing for them to know about their character. So this ambition for her soul, it's about a deep happiness. And I realized, oh, it's because I'm a life coach and I don't want to be cheesy. I don't want to write a character that's trying to better themselves. But because of that, what I've done is I've been a bit cryptic about a certain part of the journey that she's making, and sort of at the end of the novel it happens as a sort of unexpected surprise. But what it means is that along that journey the reader doesn't know how vulnerable she is, to a level that I think would be really important. That vulnerability that you show in a character can really help your reader engage, can really help your reader have compassion for the character that they're reading about. And I think it was so extreme at the start, which is why I got that feedback that people didn't like her. So I've done a little bit of work in that area. She's definitely likable, but I realised that this is something that I want to be honest about, because as long as I continue to withhold that, I'm going to put an obstacle in between the reader's relationship with the character in the book, an obstacle that I'm not intending to put there, and an obstacle which is not serving my novel in any way. So there we go. Two-minute exercises that will kickstart you. You've got the weekend ahead. You've had some insights into where you could take your character. You've also had some insights into the relationship with your character that you can continue to ponder over the weekend. Maybe live your weekend as your character. And I want to leave you with a couple of final thoughts. Think about what it is that you know now about your character that you didn't know before. What do you now know? And also, knowing what you now know, what are you going to change? What do you need to alter in your novel to take into account what you've learned today? What do you need to alter, and when are you going to do it? Okay, so thanks for joining me for Writing Weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.